after her husband had worked for me, it just didn't work out. I mean, he was supposed to be on a commission per job. So in other words, we had a $12,000 foundation after the expenses. He took 90% after expenses. Okay, so the wages, everything came out, and jobs weren't getting done. So he wasn't making any money. And my wife and I were supporting the business out of our paychecks. Isn't it boiled down to? Debbie and I came to an agreement that that is separate from the fire department, and it's not that we're not going to commingle the Maverick and the problem we have with Scott and all that into the fire department business. And pretty much left it at that. Because it was, now I know where I made a lot of my mistakes. Okay? I'll be flat honest with you. I commingled the fire department in my business quite a bit.
How so?
Using my equipment, my knowledge, and my resources for fire department benefit. At the time, I thought it was the right thing. Now, looking at it, I don't think it was. Instead of putting something out for bid, you know, if we needed the driveway plowed, I just did it. If we needed cisterns dug, I just did it. Okay?
And then charge the fire department through
Yeah. The only time we charged the fire department, with the exception of Station 5, was for expenses. In other words, if you had to buy something for, you know, for the job that was being done, concrete, pipe, whatever, that was the only thing they ever charged.
How about Station 5?
Station 5, we received a grant from the Division of Local Government, Mineral Energy Impact Grant. Put it out for bid. My son bid on it and received the bid for the concrete installation. So it was a flat bid payoff, which we had to declare conflicts of interest and put a special note in the audit.
What's your son's company?
Maverick Construction.
You say you did do a disclaimer to show the
Yes.
who was who.
And because I'm a principal owner in it, it had to be reported in the audit. And
Who evaluated that?
the board, my board of directors.
What year is that?
2003.
And do the board meeting minutes reflect that
Yes.
concept?
In a conference call with the attorney to make sure there was,
Is that defined at that time?
yes.
What year was the money actually paid out?
2003 and 4.
Is there anything that you think we haven't asked you about Debbie and that she's done that would be helpful for us to understand?
Probably Kevin, but I don't know.
Okay.
You know, you have to understand, like I said, myself and the board thought this lady walked on water. I had gone out of my way to make this a better job for her. You know, better pay, health benefits, relax on the hours. I really went out of my way because as the fire department, we act more as a family than we did a true business. Okay? And it's basically that's what you were. You know, from the top down, it was more of a family than it was a true business. And after basically 12 years of complete trust, and you have to understand, I was terribly, terribly proud of where we've gotten to, okay?
Sure.
And how we've moved things ahead. And I'll be the first one to admit, normally you wouldn't do things the way we did it, okay? It worked for us. We made great strides, okay? And the community was proud of what we had done, and the board was proud. We were all proud of what we had created in Hartsel Fire. We were meeting people's needs. We go above and beyond on everything we do, and was terribly proud. And I think my ego kind of got in the way of some of this.
What was Debbie's place in the family? And I asked that because I noticed that there's a little, you get a little choked up when you start talking about this.
I feel very betrayed.
Yeah.
Okay. Older sister, almost mother type figure. It depends on where you were. You know, for me, I'd say older sister. For the board, older sister. For a lot of the firemen, mother. And like I said, I was very proud of what we accomplished.
Building.
Well, it's not just the building. You take, like I said, when I became chief, we didn't have SCBAs or bunker gear. I went over to the fire academy and they wouldn't let me play. They literally, my bunker gear was so outdated I couldn't go in the burn building. And I had the newest stuff in the department. And we have been plowing ahead ever since. Like I said, I went out and got educated. I did everything I could do. And then we started moving ahead. And, you know, just making great strides. When you have a population of less than 2,000 people, full-time people, and it's more like 1,200 full-time people, in a district that big where 90% of your population is there in the summertime, they're not your volunteer base, and when you take the national averages of less than 1% volunteer, and yet I've got a base of 30 people, okay? And I thought we were doing, and we were the pride of the community. I mean, literally, our fire department, we were a can-do department. It didn't matter. We were better trained and had better equipment than the surrounding fire departments. We were always the leader of the pack. And this crashes down, and then you have to go explain to homeowners association, counties, and ES councils, and everybody else that I can't be the leader of the pack. All my attention has to go to this, because now I'm the bookkeeper and the secretary, and I can't go to your meetings. And it's been a crash. It's been tough.